What's up, everyone, and welcome to 2026. First of all, I hope you all had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year without any injuries. And yeah, let's begin 2026. I'm going to be showing you a video about some T-side smokes for Dust 2. This is going to be my first video of the year, so I'm very excited. And I think this is just a small video for, let's say, beginners, novice to intermediate players. And without further ado, I think we should just jump straight into it. So, first smoke I'm going to be showing you is for Xbox. I'm going to be showing you two lineups, one for the more intermediate players, which is this one, and one for the more novice players. And the way I do this lineup is finding this spec on the wall right here and line it up so it's kind of centered to the darker area on the boxes. Now stand up and place your crosshair in the lower left corner right here of the window frame and do a normal jump throw. As you can see in the lower left, it'll bounce off the wall and land on top of Xbox. And now for the more novice one, you want to line yourself up in this corner right here where you have the fencing. And then you follow the shadow all the way till you're aligned with the top or the tip of the antenna and do the same thing. You do a jump throw. And both of these smokes are going to land on top of Xbox, smoking it off. Now, Xbox is not the most used smoke anymore compared to smoking off double doors in mid directly. And I'm going to be showing you a couple of lineups for double doors. The first one I tend to use myself, which can be sometimes a little bit tricky to get it right, but you just need to practice it. You want to line yourself up using this groove in the wall right here, following, so you kind of like have a straight line. You can see these pointy edges of the paint on the wall. You want to have like a straight line all the way through. I do it while crouching just to get the alignment easier. And then you want to stand up, place your crosshair of the kind of like the pointy end of the top part right here, and do a normal jump throw as well. Now, sometimes this smoke will not go all the way to the top, but it should. Yeah, there it is. Sometimes if you misalign slightly, it will not go all the way to the top, but you really want to have it to go all the way up so you don't have an op from the CT side peeking over it or boosting or something like that. Now, that's the first lineup. The second way of doing it is if you have jumped down into suicide and you want to smoke off double doors as well for your teammates. You want to tuck yourself in between the wooden crate right here in the wall. Now you have these planks right here kind of like forming a V section, and then you have these three wires or cables, whatever it is. You want to have it so you have your crosshair placed on the wires and lining up with the corner right here. Then you do a normal throw, just a left click throw. This should also go all the way to the top, which is the important part of the smokes. Perfect. So the last one I'm going to be showing you is a bit more advanced. This is usually done, or I've seen it a couple of times from Saiwu from Apex. Or Apex, not sorry, Apex, sorry. Saiwu from Vitality. Apex is the other player from Vitality. The way you do it is by lining yourself up in this corner right here. There's kind of like an invisible corner. As you can see that I'm sliding a bit. So I'm pressing W and D to get all the way into the corner where I can't really move from left to right, or where I stop sliding. Now you have the tip of this antenna right here, and I sometimes miss this smoke. I think I should say that in advance just to make sure that I don't look like a fool. It's a bit hard one. So you use the tip of this antenna, then you want to drop your crosshair down to this small open square in between the roof, like so. And then you want to do a jump throw. This should land on top of the door frame, or actually on top of the door. And it dropped off right now, you can see. Let me just quickly retry that one. And we're just going to remove the smoke so we actually can see it. And this is just something about feeling as well. You need to practice it a little bit to get a feeling of where you want the smoke to land. And there it is. Now, this is the best one, I'd say, because it blocks off vision completely and you can still see the CTs if they run past the smoke. But those are the three lineups for double doors that I'd highly recommend you learn over the Xbox smoke. Now, let's move on to some A smokes. And the first one I'm going to be showing you is for the long corner. And the way I do it is by aligning myself with this piece right here of the wall that looks like a staircase. Now, you don't have to be perfectly aligned. From here, you have this beam or pole, and then you have kind of like, let me just get a scout instead. Then you have kind of like this small dot right here. You want to place your crosshair on that one, and then do a normal jump throw. So it goes over A long and bounces off the wall and blocks off the vision for the CTs. So you can either cross on behind the blue bin, or they will have to break it with a grenade, or they will have to swing wider. So you just need to pay attention to that. Sometimes the CTs will spam the smoke, but then you should have an advantage because then you know you can just spam the corner, right? So that's the first one. You can sometimes do it with the smoke landing on top of the roof. If you want to do something a little bit different, then I tend to use the last piece of the wall right here, lining myself up like so. And then where you have this, I think it's where you have this intersection between the cable and the small ornament. But honestly, I don't use it too much. And then you want to do a jump throw. I think this is the lineup. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah. And then it looks like this. It lands on top of the roof instead and drops down like so. This will give the CTs the options to push behind it, I feel like, a little bit more compared to the other one. But it's nice to have something to use where you can mix up in your own games, right? Now, let's remove the smoke and continue with more smokes on A. So, you can do this while running. Let's say you kill the guy on long and you would just want to push A side really quickly. You can put yourself in front of the barrel like so. Then you have this kind of antenna right here and the gold tooth on the wall. These are your lineups. So you want to run straight at the antenna and then release the smoke at some point. You just need to kind of get a feel for that. And then the smoke will bloom, so you have the cross to A side. This is, I'd say it's more of a feeling as to when you want to let go of the smoke than it is a lineup. I tend to do it when I'm just out of the corner right here, so to say. That's kind of like where I feel like I need to do it. So something like that. And then it goes straight onto the middle section of this and blocks off the vision for the CTs. Now, that's not the one I tend to use most personally. I tend to use the one that Apex, as I mentioned before, usually throws for vitality when they try to take A side. He lines himself up with the edge of the blue container. Then you want to place your crosshair out onto the sky, but still following the 90-degree angle between the wall and the roof right here. And then you just do a normal left click throw. This goes into the center as well. This is a much more consistent lineup compared to the one that I just showed you, where you start running. But the running lineup has its benefits because you can follow along with your teammates rushing onto A side. So those are the A long smokes. Let's say you want to take a split control, or you want to do a split on A, and you got short control. Now you can use this smoke right here, and I remember it, or the name that I know for it is the Avangar smoke. I think it was used by James from the Russian player James when he was playing or leading Avangar. Now you want to tuck yourself into the corner right here. Then you want to aim at this ornament, or whatever you want to call it, ornament on the window, dead center, and then do a left click throw. The smoke should drop down behind the boxes, like so. And then it goes all the way out to here, which is really nice. This is what you want, because then when you're paired with another smoke that I'm going to be showing you in a second, you have the option to push on and kill the side player, or kill the short player, right? Or not short player, ramp player, without the CT seeing you, right? So you get much more control. Now, I'm going to be rethrowing that smoke with my keybind, and then I'm going to pair it up with the short smoke that I'm going to be showing you. So rethrow, then the short smoke is just lining up somewhere right here on the wall, and do a normal left click throw. And this will give you a lot of cover to cross all the way onto A side, or all the way almost over to Gandalf, where you can start shooting people, right? You can also use this with a teammate where you boost over the smoke to cover more of the side. So those are A smokes. Let's go on to, let's just do the middle smoke, and then we finish off with some B smokes. Now, usually if you do a B split, you want to smoke off CT. For the more novice player who doesn't know or doesn't want to learn all the more advanced lineups, tuck yourself into the corner right here by Xbox and the wooden pallet, sorry, not wooden plank. And then you have these two dots right here on the wall where the paint has fallen off. You just want to line your crosshair up somewhere in between those and do a normal left click throw. This is the easy lineup. It blocks off the vision for CT, but when you start pushing into B, the CTs will be able to shoot you over the smoke. So usually good players will just stay back and watch for the Ts pushing with their backs turned into window or to door and shoot them in the back. So it's not the ideal smoke, but it's okay for beginners. Now come back to the same area right here. The more advanced version is where you want to crouch. Then you have this plank on the wooden pallet, aligning yourself with the nail head right here onto the kind of dark edge of the wooden board. Then you want to line yourself up like so and do a crouched jump throw. This, and I actually missed it. Let me just quickly remove it. Like so. This will bounce off the wall and land on top of the box instead, compared to the one that just lands on the floor. And now you can see the vision is completely blocked off for the CTs. So this will give you a much better opportunity to push into B side from a split. Now, let's get on to B side. And the first smoke I'm going to be showing you for B side is for the door. So you can start rushing B. This one I've seen Dunk throw a couple of times. So the way he does it is by running over the truck or the car, sorry. Then he tucks himself into the corner right here. On this window ornament or whatever you want to call it, on the right side, place your crosshair on the right side of the edge and do a W jump throw. You need to do the W jump throw in order for the smoke to go far enough so it lands in front of the door. And as you can see, it bounces back, lands in front of the door and blocks off vision. The good thing about the smoke is that the smoke doesn't go all the way into B side, so the CTs won't be able to lurk inside the smoke. Now you can throw the same smoke, and I've seen Saiwu do this one by lining yourself up on this small brick in the curb. Line yourself up centered on that one. Then you have this small area sticking out of the paint that's fallen off. Line your crosshair up to the left of this small piece right here and do a W jump throw as well. It lands the same way as Donks, it's just a little bit closer to B side, right? Same thing, just a little closer to the side. Now, the last way to do door smoke, or the last way that I'm going to be showing you at least, is from inside tunnels. So usually the CTs will block off the tunnel's entrance, so you can cross safely to this spot right here. You want to line yourself up or tuck yourself into the corner right here. Then you have this piece of roof, or whatever you want to call it, with the two holes punched in it, or two holes in it. Now line your crosshair up right in between those two holes and on the edge of the roof and do a normal left click throw. And this will go out and land in front of the door as well, almost at the same spot as the two smokes I showed you. That is it for my essential T-side smokes on Dust 2. Hopefully you can start using these in your own games and start to win more. If you made it this far into the video, consider dropping a comment and a like. It is greatly appreciated by me and will help me out a ton. Until next time, take care, have fun, and see you in the servers.